Hi everyone. So we're going to answer a question from a fellow viewer. So first off, you guys, I have all your questions written down, So whenever you ask a question, I write it down and I make sure I do a video and try to answer it for you as quickly as I possibly can. Of course, I don't make any money doing this, so it's during my free time whenever I have time to get to it. Otherwise, I'd love to do this every single day for you guys. I would love to post as much as I possibly can every single day, but life happens. It happens, you know. And so we're now getting to one of the questions from a viewer. So it's from Neroverse. So hi Neroverse, if you're watching. Thank you for your questions. Just remember, you guys are always welcome to leave any comment or suggestion or whatever's on your heart, on your mind, in the comments below, obviously. And because you express what you need to express that's on your heart. And if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, I am so happy to answer them if I can, if I possibly can. Just, I have to say this, that I like to say this also, that I'm not the health expert. I'm not the dietitian, nutritionist in any way, shape, or form. I don't claim to be, and I don't want to be. I am simply just a regular human being out there, just sharing my testimonies, my thoughts, my perspectives and opinions on eating healthy and how to do that, and sharing with you guys my journey. And also, if it helps you as well. So Neroverse's question is, love your videos. Trying to go all raw, but still struggling with vegan junk food addiction. Honestly, I even buy healthier snacks with good ingredients, but I binge on them sometimes. I'd love a video if you've ever struggled with anything like this and how you got through it. Well, certainly, most certainly. I think we all have gone through something like this. I've never really had binging sessions. I have never been one where I eat to cover up feelings or eat to just because I'm bored, or I have always been one where I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm done. So I know during that transitioning period, that can be hard for some people, or for most people, and they end up binging on vegan junk food or even raw vegan junk food that's claiming to be raw, but not. It's better than vegan stuff, but still not the best, but I guess it's a step forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so binging, I wouldn't really classify myself or say that I have binged. I guess I would say, overate on certain vegan foods and like snack bars and stuff like that at times, but that was like at rare times. And I think that was just because I wasn't fully prepared for the day. So I ended up eating a lot of vegan or raw vegan energy bars that I could get my hands on because I was so ravishingly hungry. Of course, I would try to have as much food as I could, but then I would end up eating those energy bars a little bit more than I should have, and then end up not feeling very good. Well, actually feeling okay, just like I could tell, like, now this is why you gotta be prepared. And I'm human just like you guys, and just like everybody else, that, you know, there's times where you do the best that you can, and there's days where you end up not being fully prepared like you want to be, and you end up doing something like that. The deeper that you think about this issue, about binge eating, since this is the topic, there's actually an underlying cause to this. That is something, if you do go through something like this, it is something you really have to kind of search within yourself as to what is causing this. Is it an emotional thing? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it something that you've gone through in your past? Is it maybe a lack of nutrients? Usually, I think, in my perspective, that when somebody ends up binging on raw vegan or vegan junk food, I think that is because they are trying to satisfy the bad bacteria in the body. They're trying to satisfy those bad cravings, but can't. So it leaves you constantly wanting something, but it's never being satisfied. And so that's kind of where the transitioning moment is hard for a lot of people. So, but I do want to tackle this from another angle too, because I looked it up. I think it's important. Now, I'm not saying that you have this or anything, but it is something that a lot of people out there do have. And I want to say I did encounter this at one point. I remember there was one time when I was fully raw. I could not get myself satiated, but I kept believing that a low fat was it. And it is to a point though. Our bodies go through cycles. And I think eating optimally will cure your binge eating, the binging that you're doing to yourself. I truly believe eating optimally heals you from that, and you can get there for sure. And so for me, at that time, I remember I was eating fruits all day. And when it came time for dinner, I wanted my savory vegetable dish. It was really water rich too. But yet I was like, I am not satiated though. I'm missing something. And it was a lower fat day. And I didn't really have any nuts or seeds with me or anything. But I was like, I can't satisfy this. So I kept eating more fruit on top of my full day of eating. And I ended up really like stretching my stomach to the point where it was really starting to hurt. I'm like, I don't like this. And then I was feeling depressed. Then I was starting to feel really, really bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, this food has to digest so this pain can go away because I just ate too much. And I don't know if you could say it's a binge, but I definitely overate. But it was also because I wasn't satisfied with something. And then I come to realize that it was because my body wanted the fats, and the fats satiated. And the moment I started incorporating more nuts and seeds, it all went away. And I was more balanced and I was back on track. So addressing the issues that you're facing, you really have to stay in tune with yourself, but take it one step at a time. And don't hurt yourself. That's the big thing. Don't hurt yourself. And so I know we all do that at one point, but when we don't deliberately do it, it just sometimes happens. So we have to work at trying to fix that problem to help ourselves be healthier and stuff. So that's only like one situation I can remember that I have seriously overate to the point where it hurt. Well, actually, no, there was a time before I knew about plants and everything and this whole health movement. It was back when I was eating animal products. I remember overeating on Pizza Hut pepperoni pizza, and it tasted so darn good. I ate so much, but I was so full afterwards, and I was just so dehydrated, and all I wanted was water. So I kept drinking water. I'm like, oh, I'm so thirsty, but I can't even stand up because I'm so full. I have to let it digest. And I had to lay there on the floor to just like let food digest for several hours until it can free up some space where I can get some water in me. And I had to stay dehydrated until then. And so that was way back when. I remember that. I think we've all experienced that too at one point or another in our life. But I remember that. So those are actually two situations I can remember. One was when I was eating animal products, and then the other one when I was fully raw vegan. I'm high raw right now, and I have found my balance. I have found a really good balance right now. And so I think we're always on our journey of finding our balance. So, but definitely when you're in the health arena, when you're in the fruit and vegetable, plant-based arena, you cannot go wrong with that. That is right. It is finding and staying in tune with your body within those healthy foods that are good for you, that you know are healthy and healing for you, that you need. And you find that balance within that arena, because we know any type of animal product, processed food or cooked food is not going to help us at all. It's going to create more problems. So we want to stay away from that. So I wanted to read this article I wanted to read this article with you guys here and kind of talk about it because it's very interesting and it kind of dives into binge eating. So it's from the Mayo Clinic Health System, okay? Shame and Guilt Eating, Tackling Binge Eating Disorders, okay? And this is just a short article. It's by Romy Landry, is a dietitian and nutrition in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So that is the author of this article. And we're going to skim through it here. We're going to read parts of it, and it's just a short article here, okay? So most people occasionally eat too much. They may fill up an extra plate with seconds at a special event, enjoy another piece of pie at a holiday gathering, or eat popcorn until stuffed at the movies. But for some people, overeating becomes excessive. It crosses the line from an occasional indulgence to a binge eating disorder when overeating feels out of control and happens on a regular basis. It's the most common eating disorder in the US. People with binge eating disorder may feel embarrassed about overeating, but have a strong compulsive urge to continue eating. They often eat alone or in secret because they feel ashamed or guilty about their eating. Binge eating disorders are different from other eating disorders like bulimia nervosa and anorexia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa is when people severely restrict the amount of food they eat, often to the point of near starvation. When people have bulimia nervosa, they binge on food, but then quickly purge or vomit all of it, or they exercise excessively. A person with a binge eating disorder may purge or exercise it occasionally, but it's not a regular part of their routine and doesn't happen after every food binge. Who is at the greatest risk for developing a binge eating disorder? Binge eating disorder is more common in women than men. People of any age can have binge eating disorder, but it's most common in younger and middle-aged people. The average age when it first occurs is about 25. It can affect people who are underweight, overweight, or an average weight. Many people who have a binge eating disorder have a long history of dieting. They have tried and failed many diets and may have poor body image as a result. While dieting, they restrict calories or specific foods for a while, but then are triggered to binge eat. It's also more common in people who have depression, a high level of stress in their lives, or use food to cover intense emotions. How do I know if I have a binge eating disorder? Binge eating disorder mainly is distinguished by a regular occurrence of eating more food than most other people would in a similar situation. Other signs include eating unusually large amounts of food in a specific amount of time, such as over a 2-hour period, feeling that eating behavior is out of control, eating even when full or not hungry, eating rapidly during binge episodes, eating until uncomfortably full, frequently eating alone or in secret, feeling depressed, disgusted, ashamed, guilty, or upset about eating, frequently dieting, possibly without weight loss. People with binge eating disorders often have become experts at hiding their eating behaviors. They may deny there is an issue or lie about the amount of food they eat. Binge eating can lead to obesity, joint problems, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and sleep apnea. It can be difficult to function in social settings, and the person may isolate or withdraw from others. This can cause anxiety, depression, and substance use disorders. How is binge eating treated? Overcoming any eating disorder is a challenge because you can avoid food or social situations that include food during recovery. Your body needs food to survive and thrive, yet recovery is possible and many people overcome binge eating completely. Treatment needs to address the emotions tied to binge eating. Emotions. So what are the deeper issues going on inside, including shame and poor self-image? Relapse is likely until these are tackled, and professional help is usually necessary. A combination of cognitive behavioral therapy and medications, such as antidepressants, can help a person cope with triggers, negative body image, and depression. These treatments can regain a sense of control over behaviors and improve stress management skills. At the same time, a dietitian can work with you to reframe your relationships with food, ensure you are getting the right balance of nutrients, help develop meal plans, and offer support of navigating social events that involve food. Binge eating disorders are serious, but full recovery is possible with professional treatment. Talk with your healthcare team if you're concerned about your eating or the eating patterns of a loved one. So, binge eating, that was very interesting because that, again, like, you have to figure out what is the deeper issues within you that is causing that. So when it comes to health, when it comes to eating most optimally, I certainly believe that can fix these problems. So, because I think this is from a point of view of people who eat animal products, who still eat the standard American diet, who are eating, those hamburgers, hot dogs. Even if they are off of that stuff, they're eating chicken, home-cooked meals like that. That stuff still, this binge eating stuff can still happen, because when you're eating a standard American diet, or you're still eating meat, dairy, eggs, fish, cooked foods, and processed foods, that is a combination for disaster, because it's the pressure of trying to keep things in moderation and saying that you can only eat this and only eat that. You can only eat this much of that and this much of that because you don't want to gain weight, or you don't want to go through this or that or whatever. And so it can actually create these types of problems. That could be one of it. But when you are eating healthy, when you are eating your optimal diet, when you're in the whole food plant arena, this won't really happen. I see this stuff kind of happening during transition phases. It happens when you're not eating properly, but also during transition phases. And then when you finally have found your balance and you are home free, so to speak, this stuff is non-existent. It's non-existent because, number one, your brain is at rest, that it can freely eat as much as it wants, and you're getting all the nutrition that you need, and you're getting all the micros and macronutrients that you need. So your body is you're constantly feeding your body goodness, life, healing, and keeping yourself in a positive mindset, keeping yourself happy, active, motivated, and inspired. Of course, life is not perfect. We all have those rough days, but you know what? This type of stuff seems like non-existent. So I don't know for sure. I don't know how other raw vegans are out there, or other high raw people or vegans out there are. But everybody's different, and we all have different things deep down within us that we are struggling with, that we are trying to cope with. So maybe when it comes to binge eating, it's a deeper issue that you kind of have to look at maybe. So even though I haven't had personal binging experiences, I know what binging is. And that's why when I say I described overeating, I would say I've more overate than actually binged on certain foods or anything. So, but I can certainly offer some suggestions if it helps at all. All in all, when you think about it, there is no easy way out. When you are switching your health, your habits, there is no easy way out. I think the easiest way out, the easiest path you can take, is to take baby steps. And if you have binging spells here and there, that is okay. I think the number one important thing to do is not beat yourself up over doing something like that. Be gentle on yourself. Give yourself grace. God gives you grace, right? So you should give yourself grace too, and be gentle on yourself and give yourself time. So it happens one baby step at a time. So I think there is just no easy way out. The best way to do it is to slowly wean yourself off of what's happening. And by doing that is incorporating the more healthier habits. So they do say it takes like 21 days to form a new habit. So yes, that may sound like a long time, but again, there's no easy way out. But we can make it easier on ourselves by taking it one step at a time and knowing that we're not alone in the process, that there's other people out there that can offer help as well and be there by your side along your journey. When people switch from animal-based products to plant-based, that is a hard switch right there for a lot of people. Okay, you kind of just have to do it. You have to go through that hard, rough spell of time to get yourself to suppress those cravings and those urges for the bad junk and keep feeding yourself the good stuff. And the more you keep doing that one step at a time, the urges go down even more and it becomes easier for you. And then it just eventually becomes like more natural for you. And then a healthy habit has formed, so your mind is free and the pressure is off, thinking like, oh, I gotta have only this much, I can only have this much, I can only have this or that and that. And no. When you've realized what is real food for your human body, you know the stuff that's out there in the world, like that's not food, that's not food, that's not food. Oh, fruit, that's food. Vegetables, that's food. Herbs, oh, that's food. And then you know that's food, and then you just eat and eat until you're full and satisfied. It's like, hey, awesome, I feel good, and done like that. Just no moderation, your mind is free from that. So just know that you are not alone. I will say that again, you are not alone. Miss Stace is here to help you if I can, to give you motivation and inspiration and to be there by your side. I've kind of seen myself as I've done my social media over the years, several years, might I add, that I feel like I'm everybody's personal cheerleader here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Anyways, guys, yeah, I feel like I'm your personal cheerleader, and I'm just so happy to see everybody succeed in their progress and their desire to want to be more healthier and make this world a better place, however they do it. So another suggestion is, I think that would help you, is if you home make your recipes. Like these, I know it is tempting. I am guilty of it too. I love Sprouts. I love Whole Foods. I love natural grocers. I love the health food stores. Ever since I moved from Alaska to Arizona, I have access to health food stores like you wouldn't believe. And there's just so many health foods in there that are actually masquerading as health foods, but really aren't. But like there are a lot of good, healthier options you can find at those stores, obviously. And I love seeing all the health, the promotion of health, and seeing lots of people shop there too. Even though it is more expensive, I'm happy to see a lot of people actually choose more healthier options. Even if it's not optimal, I am just so happy they're actually in the direction of a healthier pathway. So yes, I agree. Like it is, I still buy different raw vegan snacks and bars and stuff like that at the health food stores, and even vegan, not totally the healthiest, but they're vegan, and just to try them out. One of the vegan junk foods I think that would classify as vegan junk food would be these Heavenly Hunks. So when you look at the ingredients in these, it's not too bad, but they most certainly are not optimal, and there's certain ingredients here you want to stay away from. But you know, I see these and I just want to try them. So like I've never had this flavor before, so I'll buy like a pack and then I'll never buy it again. So that's where the homemade granola bars come into play. Homemade raw vegan bars, homemade meals and desserts and savory dishes. So you not only save money, but it's also right up your alley for health, right down the path, the alley path that you want to take, the pathway that you want to take to achieve your goals of being raw vegan or high raw or optimal health, is focusing on recipes that include only those food items that you are wanting to achieve in your diet. So I know for me, if we go take a look at my countertop, it's full of dates, full of nuts and seeds. It's full of fruit. That is the majority. Takes like 95% of my cupboards and my counter spaces is fresh whole foods. And so when you surround yourself with that, that's another thing. If you don't buy the vegan junk food, then you won't eat it. So if you don't have it in your cupboards or you don't have it on your countertop or in your house, you won't be tempted to eat it. You may have the craving come up or the binging session wanting to come up, but if it's not present in your home, then you can't do it. You'd have to binge on the fruit that you have or any other food item that you have in your cupboards or in your fridge or on your countertop. And hopefully that's fresh fruit. So that's always the best, I think. But definitely if you invest in filling your cupboards with lots of nuts and seeds and dates, mulberries, figs, dried figs, lots of fresh fruits, you can make homemade energy bars and desserts, and there are so many recipes out there. I have a buttload of recipes I want to share with you. I just can't get to doing the videos, and I got tons and tons, and I'm sharing them little by little when I can for you guys. But definitely I'm sharing with you guys where I'm finding and trying some recipes that other people have shared, like on Instagram or even that I found just on the internet, you know. So there's a lot of like vegan recipes. And then if you want to stay raw vegan, there's a lot of raw vegan recipes out there. Definitely you want to stay away from the oils. You want to stay away from cane sugar too, if you can. Now this has added oils in it and it has cane sugar. That's kind of hard to, and natural flavors. That's kind of hard to get away from processed stuff like this. That's why processed vegan junk food is not something you should be eating. Once in a while, I think is okay. Still, you shouldn't have it in there, but if you just have it once and then you'll never have it again, that's okay, I think. When I eat the stuff, I'm like, oh, it tastes good, but I'm like, no, you know what tastes better is a homemade date bar or something. And so that's why, like, I've had this for a while now, and it's still pretty full. So I mean, like, it's rare for me. So when it comes to eating your optimal diet, like, it's eating until you're satiated and full, until you don't want no more food. So that could either be a huge portion like this and a big bowl of salad like this. And for a lot of people in today's world that eat animal products, that is like binging in their mindset. But for raw vegans, for us that eat optimally, we know, well, that is a normal size portion. Or you actually just eat and you keep eating whatever you can of it until you're done and satisfied. Put it away, and when you're hungry, bring it out and finish it again. Simple as that. You know, Universe, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know exactly what is considered binging for you and stuff like that. So again, if any of you guys else out there that watch my videos, please leave a comment for her. Please leave a comment if you think it'll help. For sure, anything that helps. We are here to learn from each other and to help each other along this health journey that we're all on. And we know that we are all here to respect each other and love each other in that sense too. Alrighty guys, so remember to love being raw, vegan, plant-based, whole foods, whatever floats your little boats. Just remember to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself literally, and do the best that you absolutely can. Okay? Put a big old smile on your face today. I hope I did that for you, and I'll see you guys next video, alright? Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.